What's up, people? It's me, Jeremy, at the Utopians bus. Just a little quick update. I'm here water testing these windows today. I'm still waiting on a friend of mine to come over and help me, spray on the outside with the hose while I inspect a little further on the inside. But I went ahead and did a little bit of my own investigation, and results are 50-50. I'm still experiencing a few water leaks, but nothing I can't handle, I don't think. I'll show you just in a second where I'm talking about. So, let me try to get focus here. Yeah, so there's a few areas like, jeez, this focus is ridiculous. A few areas like that along the sill that are sort of being a little bit cumbersome. Most of it looks pretty good. I imagine some of these seals on the bottom of the windows are starting to wear out. Looks pretty good. There was one place along the wall here that's dripping down the rib. Another place that I'm having issues is around these emergency exits. There's a little bit of water on the bottom here, and I think it's coming from where the tops are, where these handles are, so I can see daylight through some of these cracks. It's really hard to tell. Kind of hard for you to see that. You can see a little bit of daylight out of there, that little one hole right in the middle. Plus I was spraying from the ground, and it's probably better to spray from above, from a ladder, to really inspect. There's a few little areas. Sorry about this exposure and focus. This is really hard to figure out. Let's see. We'll drop of water there. Nothing real bad though. Like there's an area that is pretty bad. Can you see that? Let's see if it'll focus on my finger. Yeah. So yeah, some water in there, and that's what I'm talking about. There's nothing really showing at the top, so I'm thinking it's probably coming from those seals in the actual window to frame. I've got about 3 or 4 areas that I saw here. On the driver's side, the passenger side is worse. It's the first side I did. Back here, it's a little wet at that joint. I can see that there's a gap there. You can kind of see down through there, and if you look underneath, it looks pretty sealed, but that doesn't mean it is, because behind that there's a little bit of wetness. So, not totally watertight yet, and I still have yet to get on top of the roof. There's another little area accumulating some moisture, so I'm not real sure where this water is coming from. I have a feeling a lot of it is from this little bit of gap that forms, because the windows don't close airtight, and I was spraying upward from the ground out there instead of downward. But here's the other emergency exit. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, there's some water there. So, but then I see it right here in the window too, and then I see a couple drops on the frame. But then I look out this little corner here, and I can see daylight. So it's hard to say what I need to do. I guess I'll inspect from the outside and see if I see any gaps. All the caulking and stuff looks great out there, so I'm not sure, but these emergency exits definitely have some puddling here, and that's probably the worst part. There's a few where I saw water running down the ribs, so that may need some re-inspection. Here's a pretty big puddle here. I don't like the look of that. I'm not sure, the window seems tight to the frame. Not sure if it's coming up through this little seam here or dripping down. I don't see any on the window, so So it's got to be puddling up from underneath. And it's funny because those corners that are subject to leaking the most aren't really showing me much of anything in the form of wetness. There might be one or two of those. The rest of it's just puddling on top of the sill here, so got my work cut out for me. There's another emergency exit. Water there. A little bit more on this side. So yeah, it's not solved, but I'm definitely another step ahead. I pulled these windows apart totally and got rid of all the old stuff, and then redid it how they did it. Come outside and show you real quick. See if I can get up there. I don't know if you can see that. I basically, got in those corners, filled those areas in, sealed along the whole bottom here, went all the way up the sides here where it met with the window frame, beaded that in. But yeah, there's a couple little cracks here and there, like this little bitty thing. And you see that old molding there for the window. It's kind of peeling away. So I'm not sure if that's where my water's coming in, and then these emergencies, that's going to be a pain to try to figure out. What really sucks is the ones I'll have to fix. I'll just glop them up with caulking and stuff. But if they continue to leak, I'm gonna have to pull the window out and then redo the whole thing again and try to figure it out. So, not the funnest task doing this monotonous stuff, but I'm definitely one step further, and I think it looks good for the most part. So now I just need to investigate and see where this water is puddling up on top of these sills from. It's kind of strange that it would do that. Thinking because I was spraying upward with a hose from the floor, it was coming down. So I'll set up a ladder out there and get my buddy to spray downward, or maybe get on the roof, or have somebody get on the roof and just spray the roof down so it drips downwards off the roof, and we'll see if we can't solve some of these issues. But yeah, just another part of that bus conversion life. Until this is done, I am not going to go any further with insulating this thing, putting any wood or walls in, or anything. Still need to patch this giant hole in the floor and give that some structural support. So, yep, our work is cut out for us. This is probably the more strenuous part of a bus build, I would say. I'm sure every part of it has its challenges. But trying to find out where water is coming through is no fun. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that like button, subscribe, and catch you with another update soon. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace.